today. Please stop showing everyone your lewd banana. This is CheckPoint. Welcome to CheckPoint, your source for fruit-based legal battles.
Yeah. CheckPoint!
You okay, Beach? You look a little wiped.
No. Hey, you know how when we write our stories, people are always asking us, what kind of drugs were you on, man?
Yeah, they do say that, yeah.
Yeah. My drug of choice yesterday was AstraZeneca.
Oh. You got any more of that?
Minecraft got some new DLC recently for How to Train Your Dragon. Players can have adventures alongside Hiccup, Stoic the Vast, Astrid, and Snotlout, and also fly around on dragons, including the beloved Night Fury Toothless. So in a desperate bid to stay relevant in a world dominated by Fortnite's inclusion of almost every media property under the sun, a game made in 2011 is now getting content from a movie made in 2010 that never went anywhere. Sorry, they made a second movie? And a third? Are those Christmas specials? Oh man, I got things to do after the show. Anyone want to binge some dragons? Oh shit, they made a TV show too?
I think that was 3 TV shows.
Hey, is there any news from the Epic versus Apple trials? I heard there was this very funny exchange in the courtroom about a banana character.
Oh, yeah, that was Fortnite's marketing director, Matt Weisinger, and that's definitely the funniest bit this week, so I will go over it. But to me, it's only the second most interesting Weisinger-related news thus far. Okay, so the Peely thing, his name is Peely, is such a small thing, but Apple's lawyer was examining Fortnite's marketing director, Matt Weisinger, and brought up a picture of Peely the banana, specifically Agent Peely, as he is known when wearing a tuxedo. The lawyer apparently joked, quote, "We thought it better to go with the suit than the naked banana since we are in federal court this morning." Which is kind of funny. But it is federal court, and lawyers are notoriously humorless goblins. Sorry, lawyers. So Epic's lawyer isn't going to let Apple even suggest that Fortnite is anything less than appropriate, as she later called back to that exchange, asking Weisinger, there may have been an implication that to show Peely without a suit would have been inappropriate. Is there anything inappropriate about Peely without clothes? To which Weisinger apparently considered for a long moment before responding, quote, "It's just a banana, ma'am." We're learning a lot about Epic from this trial, less so about Apple, because while their App Store fees might have been the impetus, they were not the instigators in this situation, meaning there isn't the same level of weird internal documentation to dig into. In fact, one of the few Apple-related internal emails entered as evidence shows that they were very friendly with Epic and even wanted to give Fortnite a huge marketing push in the App Store, which Epic declined because Apple wanted art assets to create marketing materials from, and Epic was worried that Apple might inadvertently leak them. Suffice to say, from Apple's end, this was all a pretty big surprise. The main thing we're learning is just how much effort Epic put into Project Liberty, which again is the real name of Epic's internal plan to circumvent Apple's 30% App Store fee by hotfixing direct-to-Epic payments into the iOS version of Fortnite. So first, let's go on a little side quest and take a look at the Coalition for App Fairness, which describes itself as, quote, a nonprofit organization founded by industry-leading companies to advocate for freedom of choice and fair competition across the app ecosystem, which sounds fine. A quick visit to their website reveals it's not really about the app ecosystem so much as the Apple ecosystem, as it's all very targeted towards Apple in specific. They allege that the App Store is anti-competitive, anti-consumer, and charges 30% on App Store transactions, claiming that no other transaction fee in any industry comes close, which is not true. The nonprofit body was officially launched in September 2020, less than a month after Epic's initial contravention of Apple's terms of service, which led to Fortnite being removed from the App Store. Among the founding members are, of course, Epic Games, along with many companies that, I'll be honest, I've never heard of, and several that I have, like Basecamp, Spotify, and Tile, who must be extra annoyed at Apple these days for different reasons. It probably won't surprise you to learn that Epic is not just a founding member, but the nexus that brought all these companies together. Which brings us back to another of Epic's internal documents from when they were planning this whole thing, specifically the section around what they call communication challenges. They note that Epic is not a sympathetic figure, and I'd say they were right on the money with that one, stating, quote, Epic is seen as a successful major company earning billions of dollars a year and is not seen by press and players as an immediate sympathetic figure in a royalty share battle. They also note that mainstream reporters will only cover the initial salvo until something interesting happens, which has also proven correct, but luckily, we've got nothing but time. So obviously, some folks inside Epic knew how this was going to shake out, or at least the people they hired did. These documents were prepared by PR firm Greenbrier, who specialize in solving complex reputational issues. So given that, how does Epic combat this battle of public perception? Well, one of the solutions is to build a coalition of developers, a working organization to advocate on behalf of Epic's beliefs. Yes, Epic actually spun up a nonprofit organization and got other developers on board to help control the press cycle for their fight with Apple. Here's Matt Weisinger's email from May 2020 where he lays out the whole plan. Epic is not sympathetic, he says, but other developers are, and Epic can get those people behind them. So, start a coalition, get a PR agency to manage it, come up with your list of advocacy points, specifically, get rid of the 30% app tax, and then add some other issues. Pad out the page to make it sound good. This email was from May 14th, 2020, and the coalition would be registered on May 27th. I think either this is the nonprofit that registered with the IRS as App Coalition Inc., effective May 27th, 2020, or I couldn't find them in the IRS database, which is a pain to use. Anyway, I wonder how Spotify and Tile and Deezer and Match Group feel learning that the actual purpose of this coalition they're a part of is to sustain Epic's press cycle and make it sound more than just a battle of the billion-dollar companies. In fact, the whole purpose, in Weisinger's own words, was to create a narrative that Epic is benevolent. And he can't even spell benevolent.
In other major banana news, you can mod a banana into Resident Evil 8-age. Don't worry, it still shoots bullets. Or fear. Or typewriter ribbons, or whatever it is guns do in Resident Evil. Destiny 2 doesn't have a banana gun, though, unless you count frozen bananas, because the new exotic pistol does ice damage. It's called the Cryothesia 77,000, and wow, I am surprised that power levels in Destiny 2 have finally creeped up over 70,000. This new gun should be available everywhere Destiny 2 is played, which is a lot of places, and now you can shoot ice at all of your friends not interesting enough to own a console, since Destiny 2 now supports crossplay for the next week. Accidentally. And they're turning it off soon. Welcome to the beta test, I guess. Once they turn that off, you'll have to content yourself with all the other games on your Nintendo Switch, including the new calculator. It pluses, it minuses, it roots the hell out of squares, and it means the Switch finally qualifies as a real mobile device. Though at a cost of £8, the Switch will probably end up too heavy to carry around in your pocket. On the plus side, being a real mobile device means that the Switch qualifies as an amicus curiae, which is Canadian for a lawyer who'd rather not be involved, and thus can give an opinion on whether anyone at Epic or Apple is thirsty for banana juice. In other major banana news, you can mod a banana into Resident Evil 8-age.
Are you sure you're okay?
Me? What about you? How many hours is it taking you to comb through all the proceedings and evidence from the trial?
Oh, I like to make my own fun by imagining what all the redactions say.
Coming up, the Pokemon Company is filming pro football players doing kick-ups while trying to open packs of Pokemon cards. Just in case you were wondering who in the Pokemon community actually has the most money.
We were talking about this just before recording, but the coalition of app fairness,
yes,
right, which again names Apple by name on their website, and their thing about like the 30%, which no one else in any industry, this transaction fee is complete. No one else does it that high.
Yeah, mind-boggling, right?
Yeah. So also in the trial, an expert witness for Epic had like a slideshow presentation where it's like talking about differences between platforms, and it's got Sony and Microsoft and like Mac OS and iOS and Android and Google Play, and it's listing them all in like a spreadsheet, and it's like 30%, 30%, 30%, 30%, 30%, 30%. And then, so it's like, what the?
So you just straight up lying? Maybe not really. You're just
I don't know.
benefit of omission.
I don't know. Also, it worked, right? Like I found so many articles from September and October about like, you know, like big companies coming together to, you know,
be mad at an even bigger company
as a coalition, right? Because like Spotify ran into a thing a couple of years ago, again with like Apple's App Store things, and they were like, we want to do it this way, and Apple was like, well, no, because it's our phones.
Yeah.
And Spotify went, well, fine. I mean, right? Like,
yeah.
What's Spotify going to do? Not be on iOS, right? So that's the crux of the whole argument, right? Is that Epic are trying to argue that Apple are creating a
they are like uniquely positioned.
They're making an anti-competitive monopoly.
Yeah.
And claiming themselves as gatekeeper, right? And Apple are like, yeah, because they're our phones.
Yeah.
We make the phone, right? Like, it's not like Microsoft making Windows, which you can put on any PC that you buy. Apple are like, they're our phones, and we don't want you to be able to put just whatever you want on our phones because that will make our phones bad.
Yeah.
Is their argument.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Yeah. I'm working so hard biting the inside of my cheek to keep from getting off on a rant, so I'm not going to bother.
Great. I have a much more interesting, completely unrelated thing.
Nice.
So unrelated, it's not even the subject of the show. It's just something I've been meaning to talk to you about.
Okay.
That this reminds me. Have you ever heard of the MB100D?
No.
Do you have any idea what kind of thing that is?
It sounds like a concept Mercedes-Benz that's very, very tiny and runs on diesel.
You're so close.
Yeah.
We were driving around the other day and saw it. It's a Mercedes-Benz diesel minivan. And Kathleen and I saw it, and we were like, Beej needs to know about this vehicle.
Are you sure it's an MB and not an ML?
No, it said MB.
Okay, interesting.
I took a picture of it.
Oh, please. I'd like to see it. Did it look brand new or did it look real old?
Oh, no. It's old. It's boxy.
Oh, hell yeah.
We were like, this is the kind. I'll make sure that
Yeah.
Heather gets this image to put it on screen.
That I've never seen that before. That is definitely something from Germany.
Yeah. We were like, man, that is the kind of minivan Beej would want to drive.
You're absolutely right. It is.
Yeah. It's like a Mercedes-Benz vehicle that looks like a cardboard box on wheels that runs on diesel.
Got a lot of space for like activities and people to sit and plywood and all the things that I never put in a vehicle.
Yeah.
But that I might someday.
Mm-hmm.
And the 100 generally means what the size of the engine is, because I had a 300D and that meant I had a 3-liter engine that was a diesel.
Mm-hmm.
So a 100D would mean that it's a 1-liter engine that's a diesel, which means that thing doesn't go anywhere.
Oh, good. Oh, back to video gaming. There's a fly swatter weapon in Resident Evil 8.
I did see that.
All I've seen is clips of people running circles around Lady Dimitrescu and slapping her in the butt with the fly swatter.
I assumed it was a mod.
I don't think it is.
Yeah.
I think Capcom knew exactly what they were doing when they put a fly swatter in the game with a 9'6" tall woman.
They're super upset about this. They've been drying their tears with money all night, I'm sure.
No kidding. Eventually I'll play the game, but I mean, for now I'm just enjoying all the memes.
I'm looking forward to it showing up on Let's Thirst.
Well, they have to finish playing Peers of War first, and that game sucks.